Good morning, Muscatine. It's a Good Friday because it is Good Friday. Easter's coming up this weekend. Your local Hy-Vee store has everything you need for your Easter baskets, your Easter dinners, everything Easter. Check out your local Hy-Vee here on 2nd Ave for everything you need. Before we get started, we got some really cool guests here today. I've chatted them up before the show started. Pretty awesome. I'm kind of jealous. I didn't get to do this in high school. Before we get to that, though, we got some big shout outs to do for our sponsors for making this show as great as it is. So Hy-Vee, of course, where we're at today in the Hy-Vee Drugtown location, Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, I almost said MPW, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Rivo Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Suntan City, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, right next door, actually, Harper's Cycling and Fitness. Thank you all for what you do to make this show great and support all things Muscatine, what's happening in this town. Check out discovermuscatine.com to look at the community calendar. There's some great things coming up here in town. So it's a great week. It's going to be a good weekend, hopefully weather-wise. Hopefully it warms up a little bit. I know where you guys are going, though. It's going to be really, really warm because you're in Houston, right?
Houston.
So these are my guests today. I know the banner's going to say the Robotics Club kids, but you guys are like seniors you're a senior in high school, right?
Yeah.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. So introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what's going on and why you're here. Because this is really cool stuff.
So I'm Hannah Williams. I'm a junior in high school, like I just said. I joined the robotics team about a year ago. And
during COVID, when nothing was going on, everything was boring, and so you're like, let's do robotics, right?
Yeah.
How did you join robotics again?
I joined because of a few friends told me to come along. I didn't even know about it. I did it in middle school, but then fell off because I didn't know that they had a high school team. Okay. So I'm very, very happy that I got back into it.
Yeah. And Amelia, I didn't mean to do that. Hey man, introduce yourself, buddy.
I'm Amelia Bobe. I'm a senior in high school. I've been on the team for 5 years now, and FLL for 2 years before that, which is our elementary level. I don't know. It's been a really good time for me. I've gotten a lot of opportunities because of it. I have an internship now because of it, and now I know where I'm going to go to college because of it.
Nice.
And I've made a ton of friends throughout the entire process. So
yeah, so the process is pretty cool. So we've had some pretty good conversation already before the show even started. And when I tell you that I'm really just kind of in awe of you both and what this whole thing is, I mean that. Like, these are such great opportunities that are provided for you guys. So tell me a little bit about what robotics even is.
So robotics, at least at our level, FRC Robotics, we get a challenge every single January, and then we have a couple months to have solutions for it before we go to competitions. We go to regionals, regional competitions with like 50 other teams, and we go to 2 every year. So once we're at those, we compete in alliances against other teams from across the world.
So what is a challenge? What does that mean?
So we get like a 2.5 minute long video. This year our challenge was.
So you guys are like huddled around the phone waiting for like this challenge?
Yep.
Okay, it's gonna drop in 5, 4, 3, 2, challenge, let's get it. Like, is that how it is?
We have events where we invite other teams from in the area.
That's so cool.
To
live streaming event.
they live stream
live stream?
it.
Yep.
Oh man, this is like cool stuff. Okay, keep going, tell me more.
So they have like tons and tons of viewers on this stream from First Inspires, and we have teams from the area, and then we get our kit of parts, which is kind of like the essential things that we need for that year, just to kind of have like a robot. So this year we had to like shoot balls into a hoop in the middle of the field, and the field is massive. So just trying to shoot from anywhere into like a 10 feet up hoop, it's difficult. But we needed those balls from the kit of parts just to even like test that. And then our other challenge is that we have to climb on a hanger on 4 bars. So we have to do like, our robot has to climb up these bars.
Yeah, so you say we have to, you mean the robot you have to build.
Yes.
So it comes just in parts, and you have to build this thing, put the gears together, make sure it can actually like the movement to climb, right?
Yes.
Like it's like detailed stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so keep going. So it has to climb these bars.
And then whichever bar it's on when we end is how many points we get, which is really difficult because this climber is like 8 feet in the air. So just trying to get a robot with a set height limit the height limit will only take you to the second bar. So you have to have some mechanism that can grab a bar and then reach to a bar, grab that bar, and then not destroy your entire robot when you swing to the next bar.
So if you didn't build it right, if it didn't have the functionality to grasp and move like with fluidity, like it could fall and the robot's done and you're out of the competition.
Yep.
Yes.
We've witnessed a robot on our Alliance in Cedar Falls, their arm completely ripped out and just hanging on wires.
And it's like it's over for them.
Done.
Right? Okay, so the cool thing about this team is these two, which you have those stats, right?
Yes.
I got those stats. Listen to these stats, guys. This is pretty cool on how many teams in the state. Just go and read those stats for me real quick about just the whole thing, the whole competition, how many people, schools, how many you beat out. Run down that.
So FRC has been a thing for 30 years.
30 years.
In that time, there have been around 9,000 teams that have been made. There are 4,000 teams that are active right now. And between those teams, there are 90,000 active students.
So almost 100,000 students, starting at, really, you said there's elementary levels, right?
This is just an FRC, so
Okay,
this
so
is
this
like
is like
high
high
school.
schoolers.
But you can imagine those statistics when it's FTC, which is the middle school, and FLL, which is elementary school. So it's a lot of students.
There's almost 100,000 students just in high school alone that are involved in these robotics. So Tony Tone, thank you, Tony. He's on Facebook right now. If you're watching Facebook, he's showing videos right now in the comment section of your team.
Yeah.
So 90,000 students. Okay, keep going, because he said Texas. It gets better, guys.
It gets better. So there are around 55 teams just in Iowa.
Okay, this is where the goosebumps come in.
Yeah. And we are one of 3 teams in Iowa that are going to the World's competition next week.
One of 3 teams in Iowa going to not the state finals, not like the nationals, but the world finals. Like, these are some bright crayons in the box, man.
Yeah.
Like these guys are legit. One of 3 teams in the state going to world. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's Muscatine right there, man. You guys should be very proud of that and the accomplishment. And so you talked about like how much fun you've had doing this. So tell me, what are some great memories you have, even in the year you've done it, or some great highlights that you can just recall of doing this?
Definitely my favorite memories are just team bonding memories.
I
have made so many good friends just in this one year. It's amazing. And what I love most about competitions is when we finally get back from a really long day of hard work and we just get to like relax and just hang with our friends until like sometimes even 1 o'clock in the morning, even though we have to get up at 6 to do it all again. And one of my best highlights so far is last regional in Minnesota. I was hanging out with a bunch of friends, and the other girl that I was staying with, we forgot our room keys, and it was like 12:45 in the morning, and the other girls were already asleep, so we had to go bug the front desk lady to get us new set of keys, and it's just...
So they told me that they go from like 6 in the morning till sometimes midnight, right? Because you said the pits close at what time?
Like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, and you have to prepare for the next day.
Yes.
Right? So is it like changing robots around and getting things, or do you have them already set and then you have to just like mentally and like make sure everything's set?
So the pit is the area that you can work on your robot in. So when that closes, normally we go back to our hotel. But then there's a lot of stuff that is not just robot related in first. So some of these things are like reviewing other teams and how they're doing, because at the end,
your competitors, right? Okay, this is good.
You have to analyze them, see how they're doing, so that you can have your first 2 days, your matchups are randomized. So you want this information so that you can see kind of a strategy.
So it's kind of like studying tape.
Exactly.
Like football teams.
Yeah, exactly like that.
You're studying tape.
Like
okay. So you're like strategically like planning how you're going to go up against the other teams. Man, there's a lot to this.
Yeah, and on the last day there's a draft.
There's a draft?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the draft.
The top 8 seeded teams on the last day get to pick 2 other teams to join their alliance for the last day of competition. So they have to figure out, hey, who do we even want on our team? Because we worked with all these people. Some of them we work well with, some of them we don't, and some of them have incredibly performing robots, and some of them don't. So they want to make sure that they have the best alliance for that last day of competition so that they can win the regional.
This is great. So you coming into it just a year in, was it overwhelming for you? What I mean, you said friends invited you, which is good. Friends invite friends, and they end up doing things when friends invite them. So what was it like coming into it? Was it overwhelming? What was it like?
It was very overwhelming. I was kind of scared of everyone on the team when I first came because like they're smart and like I've never done anything like this before, so I was kind of like super closed off. I only hung out with those 2 friends that invited me, but like I actually sprouted this year and like went into things. Like I'm on the scouting team now, which is exactly what he was describing, of how we just sit in the stands the entire time and take notes about every single team.
Okay, so
in case we are the top 8 teams, we need to know what teams to pick.
Wow. All right. Now, okay, keep going. So, you got back to your hotel. Things are for the next day. Competition comes up. What's it like day of competition? Like, what do you do? You can watch videos of like athletes how they get like mentally prepared and like strategically prepared. What do you guys do to like get in that headspace where you're like, all right, we can own this. This is ours. This is our title to win. Why not us? What do you do to like hype yourselves up for this?
So our team kind of has like a chant that we do.
All right, now he said chant, so you got to do it.
I mean, so we have one where we put our hands in and then we just say like, Fire Island, or we have some from our stands where it's like 6-4-20, 6-4-20, because that's our team number. So we are the 6,420th team to sign up.
Wow.
So we got that number, and it works perfectly with a lot of chants.
Yeah.
Some matches, right? Well, I'm the drive coach, so I'm always out there on the field before every single match. And a lot of the scouts that are in the stands, they say this match is about to be
fire.
Because we're Fire Island Robotics.
That is like the best right there.
Yeah.
Man, it sounds like you guys have a lot of fun.
It's
a
so
lot of
much
work,
fun.
isn't it?
Definitely.
How stressful is it for you?
I mean, it's always nice. I mean, I'm a senior, so I know that this is like my last year, so I'm just trying to take in as much as I can.
And you can give back, you can pass down.
Exactly.
Like passion is an infectious thing. When you're passionate about something, you can share that. Your interactions and your passion, you can pass that down. So how important it is for you to pass down maybe your passion to Hannah?
So important. So I think she's been kind of modest this entire time, but at our last competition, she was our head scout, which means that she actually gets to go out and be the representative of our team, of our entire team, to all of the other teams at the regional. And then she got to accept our alliance request.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was very nerve-wracking. I was very scared the entire time.
All right, so you're in your chant, you get your chant done. Team unity is probably high. Do you do any other like outside team building activities, like hang out together? But is there like specific team building activities that you do that just create that unity? And what is the time when it just sparks and you know, like, all right, we're ready. Like we are ready for this, to do this.
So one of our favorite team bonding activities is every Thursday. Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings.
B-Dub.
We go there
Right.
after practice every Thursday and go get like BOGO wings, and we just talk and just talk.
So there's a lot that goes into this world, the world finals. There's a lot that goes in personally amongst each other. It's not just building the robot.
Right.
You have to click personality-wise. You got to click together as a team in unity to make this happen.
Right.
And the fact that you guys are going to the world, one of 3 teams in Iowa, going to the world. It's not, like I said, it's not nationals. It's not whatever. It's the world finals. And it's like, something must have clicked. So what is it about your group this year? And you said you went to this 6 years ago too, right?
Right, our rookie year.
Rookie year you went, and you're going again this year. What is it about your team that you think just clicks with you guys?
I think for me, we've had a lot of people who have been on the team for a ton of years at this point. And now a lot of us, like a third of our team, is seniors right now. So we're all about to graduate, and we've been friends for so long. So it's just learning each other and how we work. And then now we're kind of at the point where it's like, this is the best that we've been, because this is the oldest we've been. And now we're going to graduate. So I don't know, just...
All right, so what's your favorite robot you've built? I'll ask you the same question, so you get to think for a minute. What's the favorite your favorite thing you've built on the robotics team, and why? Why was it your favorite?
My first answer, so that we have bumpers that go on the robot. So just to ensure that we don't break other robots while we're out there. And it's always a problem because the bumpers are kind of like the last thought because you want to put together the robot and make it perform well, and then you're kind of like, oh, there are the bumpers. But this year, we made reversible bumpers. Lindsay Thompson, one of the people on our team who's incredible, made reversible bumpers, because normally it's like a 10-minute process to just take off the bumpers, switch bumpers, because you have to switch from blue bumpers to red bumpers.
What do bumpers do?
They just ensure that you don't hurt other robots, because
So
it's
like a bumper. It's
exactly.
It's like on a car. It's
Yeah.
like a bumper on a car. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Because you want to just, it's not like a robot battle, right?
Exactly.
You don't destroy the
Yeah.
robots.
There's like defense, and you can like hit it against each other to make sure that you miss shots, to try to make them miss shots. But you don't want to like be malicious and like destroy their
Yeah,
robot.
you want to respect their hard work
Exactly.
and talents as well, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, keep going. So bumpers, and then
It's like a 10-minute process to just switch out your bumpers between matches. So to get that time back, we made reversible bumpers. So it's literally just Velcro. You have blue bumpers and then
back.
red bumpers. So now we have like 10 more minutes in the pit to work on a robot between each match, just like optimizing our time, which has been super helpful because sometimes we go out to a match and we're like queuing on the wrong side, and then they tell us we're on the wrong side. And normally, if we had the old bumpers, we would have to like, make sure somebody goes and grabs those bumpers.
Yeah.
But now it's just
wow. So did you come up with the reverse bumpers, or was it a team of you guys? Like what? how
other
did you come
teams
up
have done it in the past.
So when you're scouting, you're watching also how
Yes.
they're doing things.
Yep.
Because I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're very observant. There's a lot of observation that goes into robotics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about you? Favorite robot you've built in robotics?
Well, I didn't start helping like build / design the robot till this year.
Okay.
And one of my favorite things so far was probably the climber, because I was one of the main people that helped design it. I have pictures, like drawings, like rough sketches of what I wanted it to look like
So
at the very
you
beginning.
designed the actual.
And just to see it actually
Wow.
work is just incredible. Like I didn't build it whatsoever, no, but it's just the fact that the idea actually
And it's a
works.
really, really good climber. So
Yeah.
the last bar that you can get to is called the traversal rung, and it's 15 points, which is massive this year when games only go to like 30 points sometimes. So that's
Half your points are reaching that bar.
exactly. And we have 3 people on a team, so half of the entire alliance's points is just getting to that bar. So to get to that bar is kind of rare, and to say that we built a climber that can do that, and we designed a climber that could do that, is insane.
Man, I'm sitting here going, this is a whole lot more than those Lincoln Longs I used to play with when I was little. Or those the Connect
Yeah.
ones. You know, this is awesome. So, did you when you were a freshman in high school, did you think that as a senior in high school you would be going to the world finals for the Fire Island Robotics, representing Fire
Yes.
Island Robotics in Houston at the World Finals?
I mean, it's always a goal. We had
So you
gone
start
to
with
it.
the goal in mind, right?
Yes.
It's important to start with the goal in mind. Yeah.
Start with the goal, and then we were steadily progressing and becoming better. COVID hit, obviously, which kind of threw a wrench in everyone's plan. But we took that time, that year that we had off, and we figured out stuff that we had never done before, like a limelight, which is a sensor that can track where your balls are going, which is super helpful. And just figuring out those things that we had never been kind of willing to do during the season, because it's a very short time crunch, definitely made us better for this year.
So some people would have looked at the time off from COVID, I mean, you had to. I mean,
Yeah.
things just shut down. And they would look at it as a defeat, like, oh great, we stopped. But you guys didn't let that stop you. You were
Right.
working behind the scenes, getting your stuff together, strategizing, building,
Yep.
thinking of new ways to do things. What
Right.
about you? Did you think your first year in robotics, you'd be going to Houston for the World Finals?
Definitely not. I'm just still in shock. It's not going to sink in until we're in Houston for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, honestly, last year I just thought I was going to be like, oh, I'll just go for a few practices, just see how it is. But then I just went for more few practices,
Yeah.
and
What has it done for you? What is it personally, and maybe with like your at school, with help with study, with school, what has it done for you? How has being on a robotics team benefited you personally?
Definitely, it's helped me like decide what career I want to go into, and that's definitely I want to go into STEM. I want to go into medical, which falls under the science and STEM. And I didn't know what I wanted to do before robotics, and it really helped me.
We just had on yesterday the Women Lead Change representatives, and I'm sitting here thinking, man, this girl's going somewhere. She's gonna be one of those leaders in STEM, you know. Your design got you to the finals, the world finals, you know. So good stuff. Good stuff. So you want to go into medical?
Medical, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. How about you?
Well, I've been doing this for a very long time, since 4th grade, and I remember very distinctly in kindergarten, I was the shy kid. I didn't really talk to anyone. I was very lucky in 1st grade when I made a ton of friends, and then in 4th grade they started making this team, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna join it because my friends are doing it. But I was still pretty shy, but obviously now I talk a lot more because first, and this whole robotics program forces you to go out of your comfort zone a lot. They have presentations that you have to give all of the time on just like the outreach that you do, and just doing outreach takes you out of your comfort zone. Going out into the community and talking to people and asking them what they need and how we can help as engineers, it takes a lot, and it's definitely a far reach from where I used to be. And not just like social factors like making friends and meeting people from all across the world, but now I know what I want to do as well. I want to be a mechanical engineer, and I'm going with my friends to do that.
What school?
Iowa State.
Iowa State. All right, all right. And so the guy sitting in the back there with the jacket on, with the blue shirt, what has his support throughout this entire process, entire high school career? What is it meant? Yeah, come on. Jump in here and you can talk too.
They sent me up and told me to speak in Hannah's mic.
Yes,
so.
speak in Hannah's mic. So I'm asking him, what is it meant to have? I mean, you said you were best friends with his son.
Right. Since 1st grade. So it's meant a lot, honestly. The award that we actually got to go to Houston is called the Engineering Inspiration Award, and it's for doing outreach in your community. But as a high schooler, I'm not super involved in my community yet. I'm just trying to figure out my life. Sure. So to have someone here who is super great in the community and knows people in the community so that we can actually go and do these outreach things, it's massive. He knows who to reach out to and when to reach out to them, and just all of these opportunities to do outreach would not have happened without him. So it's incredible.
So introduce your coach to me. What's his name, and then tell me a little bit about yourself.
This is Chris Hoffman.
Chris Hoffman, all right.
Yeah, I work at Stanley Consultants. I'm in charge of training at Stanley, and a great organization. And I would say that, what Emilio said about it starting with me, it's kind of reverse a lot of the times because I know what the skills these students can do, and so when I see opportunities in the community, it's easy to pair them up. And honestly, they're really getting a reputation now. So for example, at Jefferson Elementary School, they got a new robot that they wanted to use in their school, and they reached out to us and said, hey, can your team help? And I absolutely knew that our team can help. So Emilio and others programmed that robot, and so now they're using it with students, and it's an amazing thing. So it really goes both ways. The students have so many skills and abilities that it's pretty easy to pair them up with opportunities.
Right. I'm telling you right now, those kids at what elementary school was it?
Jefferson, yep.
Jefferson,
Yep.
That saw you guys. Did you guys go and help with the robot?
Yep.
I think I saw the story.
Yeah.
They'll never forget that moment. And your passion for that robot, giving it to them, that could have sparked the flame of I want the flame of interest in their little mind, going, he can do it, and you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, it's really great because at Jefferson they have 6th graders that are programming the robot, and I believe they are teaching younger students how to program the robot now. So it's kind of that waterfall effect, so it's really neat that robot is. They call him Miles, or the Miles robot. Muskie's invested in learning every second. Muskie's invested in learning every second.
Miles robot.
Yeah, right. And they've got Miles reading books to younger kids, and there's a I'll say autistic room, or room where they need to have the stimuli just right. And Miles apparently is doing a great job reading books to young kids. So
did you guys design the robot for them?
We did not design it. There's a corporation out there that builds the robot, but then we got the robot, and a lot of the teachers weren't really sure how to use it yet, so they passed it to us so that we could figure out how to use it and start coding it, and then just kind of figure it out so that we could teach the teachers and students so that they could pass it down at the school.
That's just, I mean, I'm over here like with chills. This is some cool STEM stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
one thing they did that very relevant to Hy-Vee here, who has been a great sponsor of the team, by the way, is they actually programmed Miles to ring the Salvation Army bell at the Red Kettle.
How did I miss that?
So,
how did I miss that?
I don't
What?
know, but yeah. So we have pictures of Miles on the other side of the store by that exit, ringing the bell, and people stopping and chatting about the robot and putting some money into the kettle.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm dumbfounded that I missed this awesome thing. If I don't know how cool it was, All right, Chris Anderson's yelling at me something from the back. What did he say?
Tony said have them talk about the projector they brought at Jefferson.
Yeah, projector.
The OB.
Yeah, talk about that.
We had this projector that we got our hands on, and it projects a screen, and then you can interact with the screen from wherever it projects onto. So it's a great opportunity, and they have all of these learning curriculum on the projector already. So you can take it to schools. We took it to the summer school at Jefferson, and we taught kids how to use it, and they had fun with it. But then another side of the story, we could take it to nursing homes, and they could have fun with it as well. So it was a great thing because you get all these students interested because it's a bright, flashy projector.
Yeah, who doesn't want to bright and flashy? That'll get my attention as an adult. What?
And the kids can move around. They can basically really dance on it and answer math questions and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
This is amazing stuff. This is stuff that I never would have thought that. This is educational for me.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of you as their leader and as just giving back to investing your passions and your knowledge into students that are going on to become medical engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever it may be. I'm just sitting here in awe of how awesome these opportunities are for our students in Muscatine. I mean, you guys blow me away.
Yeah.
You blow me away.
And it's awesome because it's not like the two of us are just one-offs. It's the entire team. We have like 25 students on our team.
25 students. So about that number's going to Houston?
I think around 20 students are going.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
So how can people donate to ensure they can make it?
Yeah, so if people want to donate to go to Houston, help you go to Houston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Yeah.
How can they lend a hand?
Yeah. So for 8 years now, we've had a fund at the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine, and so we do have a link for that. Where if you wanted to donate, I'm sure you can post it out there for us when you put the show out there, and you can just click that link. It'll take you to a secure page that's just for donating directly to our fund there, and then that will support STEM activities here in Muscatine, including our trip to the World Championships.
The World Championships. So you heard that. You can go on, we'll post the link, and you can go to the link at the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine and donate there and help support STEM activities here and send them to you.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to use the old school method and write a check, that's totally okay too. You just make it out to the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine, and in the memo you want to put robots or STEM matters, either one of those, and it'll make sure they'll get it into the right fund, and we'll use it for robotics and other STEM activities right here in Muscatine, including going to the World Championships next week.
That's awesome. So how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing this for 8 years. So started 8 years ago with First Lego League, and our first year, out of the chute there, we had students from 4th grade to 8th grade on the team, and we didn't know what we were doing, but the students were incredible and won the state championship that year. So it was phenomenal. And then the second year, we came back and did it again. And every year in First Lego League, you do a project. So on top of working with the robot, you're doing a community project. They actually did a project with the Hy-Vee store, and when you come in the front doors, you see a big picture and a bunch of these students are on the big picture encouraging you to recycle. And when you walk around the aisles, you still see some shelf talkers, those little advertisements, and they've got some of the students on there encouraging you to recycle your pizza box and different things like that. And all that was recognized as the best project in the state that year. And so after that, the Iowa Governor's STEM Advisory Council was offering some grant money to start these high school robotics teams, and we applied for a grant, and the next thing you know, we started a high school robotics team. And so
and here you are.
And here we are 6 years later. Yep.
Here you are. So what are some of your favorite memories and highlights of the past 6 years doing this?
Yeah.
What are some things that really just stand out? I mean, you shared some, I think, with their voices on machines in here that say recycle your stuff. But what are some really memorable, meaningful moments for you?
Yeah. Well, you would think that it would be, when you get your team's name announced at a competition, and wow, we're going to go on to Worlds, or you would think it's winning a match or something like that. But honestly, some of the very best memories, you have that student who maybe they've used a screwdriver before they show up at practice, but maybe they've never used a screwdriver with a battery, like a cordless drill or something. And when they go from using that and learning how to do that safely, and then moving on to more advanced equipment, or when they are kind of hanging back and they're really shy, and then they go and they help get involved with the team, and they come up with ideas and they speak up. It's really incredible.
Watch them develop.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the adult to adult communication. In being in a team like we are in a kind of high stress situations, there's always going to be friction. But we're at a point where our students approach each other and say, hey, I had a little bit of an issue with the way you handled that. Let's talk about it. So there's a lot of good things happening. It's not perfect, but
that's real world stuff. That's used in the workplace. And just their everyday life.
Yeah. Many times when we have issues, I say, hey, this is the same thing that happens in business every day. So get used to it, and we've got to figure out how to improve on it.
We're a family, and families fight sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So if there's a kid that wants to get involved in the robotics club, I know school's kind of on the the ends in sight, for the school year.
Yeah.
But how would they go about learning more about robotics club?
Sure. Yeah. So we're very fortunate as a team. We have a dozen mentors from industry. So I think that's advantageous because we have industry insight coming into the team at all times. Nothing against teachers at all, but it's very advantageous for this type of program. The disadvantage we have is we don't have anyone at the high school that you can just walk into their room and hey, get me more information.
Sure.
So the very best way to do it is to communicate with the activities department there, the athletics and activities department, because if you express interest there, they will get your name and email over to me, and then I can get you, into kind of the loop of the information. The other thing that's good and bad is we meet off-site. We don't meet at the high school. It's very advantageous because we have plenty of space and all that, but you can't just walk into the room and check it out, right? We have to have you come down to the facility on the south end of town where we practice, and so that takes a little bit of coordinating, but once you get there, right, Hannah, it's all great. So
you guys are like brand ambassadors. You're wearing a logo on your shirt, but really just I can see the spark in you when you guys talk about this stuff, and it's cool to see. So how vital is it? How important is it for students that maybe just kind of on the edge of, that's something I want to do, but I don't know if are my skills enough to do it? Maybe they're shy. Maybe they're just don't have a lot of friends. How important is it for them to just, Steve Harvey calls it the jump, make the jump into something new, something unknown to them, and just how important is it to do that?
So one of the things, what do I think is, one of the bad stereotypes about robotics is you have to be so smart. You have to be like Einstein to join. You have to know everything. But like me, I hate math, but I still love being on the team. And I just wish people would hopefully start to realize that if you like designing, you can design the robot. If you like just talking to people, you can be a scout. There's just so many different things inside the robotics team that you can still contribute to if you don't like to code, if you can't build things, which is,
I think it's super important. We've been lucky enough to be doing all of these outreach events recently, so you get to learn a lot about what robotics actually is, but I don't think anyone of my friends just at school really understands what we're doing until they actually come down and see just the scale of it. And it's a massive worldwide program, So it's incredibly cool, but you don't really see that until you're there.
Yeah.
So the jump is really important. Just
Can I add on? I'd love to add on to this. So some teams, we have a team of 25, which is great. Some teams have a team of 75, 80, 90, 100 people, and obviously not everyone can be driving the robot. Not everyone can be, cutting every piece of metal, right? You're going to have to kind of share some of that. But there's also things, like marketing. So you might be into writing, and you think, well, that's not for me. I'm a writer. Well, we could use writers. We've constantly been thinking for years. We want to have a website. If you're into building a website, we could use you for that. There's all kinds of things you can do. You might be into, doing what Greg's doing right here and interviewing people. We would love to have someone that's creating, kind of a history of the season during the season, right, and putting it on a website and capturing all that. So anything that you're interested in, we can probably find, a use for that. We've been trying to incorporate the arts as well. A couple years ago, we reached out to the high school art teacher and said, hey, we got a space we think we could do a mural. Do you have a student that might want to do a mural? And they did, but they didn't really work out for them to come down to our facility. And so we bought some 4x8 sheets of plywood and took them to the high school, and they did this great piece for us, and now we've got it up on the wall there at our facility, and that's kind of, there's all kinds of different things. So whatever you like to do, get a hold of the athletics and activities department, let them know you're interested in robotics, and then when I reach out to you, let me know what you're interested in, and we'll try to figure out how to make it a part of the team.
I'm just like, I'm sitting here as you guys are talking, thinking about, okay, we have after school programs at Salvation Army, we have summer day camp at Salvation Army. How can I incorporate this great STEM activity that they can still be involved with as their school career advances in Muscatine? How can we get that into them now as kids? And I'm like, so if there's programs out there that are watching the show and say, hey, I have a youth group at church, I have a summer program at Louisa County, how do they get these students to come out and show them what this is all about this summer, if that's even a thing?
Sure, we could do that. We could, come to you potentially. We could have you come to, our location and meet up with us. I would say go ahead and reach out to us, through the activities director's office would be great. You can reach out to me as well. We can put my email address on the post, I'm sure. I will tell you maybe another surprise to you, Greg, is that we actually came to your after-school program.
I thought you guys did. I thought this year. It was this year, right?
Yeah, in the fall. Yep.
I thought you guys did. I think I was out of town when you guys came, but
So we as students, they're always trying to think of ways how to impact the community, and one way they wanted to do that was try to get robots into the hands of younger kids. So they raised some money. We bought these 10 little robots. I wish we would have brought one here. Didn't think about that, but originally the idea was that these would be something that we could put together, take apart, right, with students. It was just a little too complex. We were hoping it wouldn't be that way, but the students tried different things, and what they really stumbled upon was if you can give the students these robots just to drive around, they don't drive very fast, and have them moving boxes and different things, and then say, wouldn't it be nice if you could change this robot so it would better move a box? And they say, oh, that would be great. And then voila, we open up this extra box, and out comes all these different adjustable kind of appendages that can be added to the robot. And the students start doing the design process on their own. They start iterating, trying different things, and it's really great to see that. By the time it's over, they've really had a lot of fun, and they've sort of had a little microcosm of what these students do, during a robotic season.
I'm thinking about all the times I've gone to St. Louis Science Center. I lived in St. Louis, around St. Louis, to Wisconsin Dells. There's a space exhibit there and the one thing that I remember the absolute most about both those places is running that robot. Running the little Mars rover thing, that you watch on the screen, and people can watch you do it. And I'm thinking, if I remember that as a kid and an adult doing it, how cool it is. How cool is it that you guys get to create these things and make them climb on things? Like I'm really blown away, and in all of your talents and stuff.
Another thing I would add would be, like Emilio talks about how he started in first Lego League in 4th grade, and that team really just got started because me and a couple other parents, so basically 3 families, said let's just start a team. We've got students in our homes that would like something like this, so let's just do it. Didn't know exactly how to do it, asked a parent who had been doing it for a couple years and just kind of learned from them. If you're out there in the community and you're listening to this and you think, boy, I'd like to do that, we can sort of coach you how to do that. We can't really do it for you, right. But I would say get 3 families together, and between the 3 of you, you can figure this out, and we'll come alongside you. We'll try to get students over, at a consistent basis to help you. But if you want to do that, the time to think about it is now, because that first Lego League, where you're doing a competition on a 4x8 field to play just 4 feet by 8 feet, that starts in August and September is the best time to start it, but you kind of need to plan for it throughout the summer. So if you want to do that, again, reach out to me, reach out to the high school that can get a hold of me, and we'll tell you about kind of how we did it. And then if you can get your kids started in that, maybe that'll keep them going until they get to high school, and we can have them on our team. Man.
So you heard it. I mean, you're hearing the words from the guy himself and the team members themselves, that if you have interest in this, there's ways to contact, there's ways to start teams, there's ways to just get involved and start getting your kids' hands maybe or their eyes out of a screen and their hands onto some mechanics. And doing some really, not that screens aren't important, because they are, but doing some really hands-on different things, to kind of spark their mind, spark their imagination, spark just the different creative abilities that they have. So, Chris, are we doing a game? Yep. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about or highlight, or that you can think of before we move on to the game they have planned for?
I don't think so.
Well, the only thing I can think of is you were talking about, students and things that they can do. Maybe you're thinking that's great, but I'm not going to start a Lego League team, first Lego League team or something. I will tell you what I did with my kids, and I think it made a difference, and that is we never, ever threw anything away in our house without taking it apart first. So I don't care how big it was. Oh, did you guys talk about that already? Oh,
no.
Off the show.
Off the show, I asked about that.
Yeah, so I think that was a huge thing. So everything from, if you have, back in those days we had fax machines, right? Now we don't, we just have scanners or whatever, but anything that broke. I remember my kids when they were little had the little light up shoes. Even when the light up shoes quit lighting up, we cut them open and figured out how they worked, right? And I would recommend anyone to do that. It's just a learning process of what's kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah, so. That's so cool. I did that with a toy train I had one time, and I couldn't get it back together. Oops. It was cool though to see the gears moving. It was a train that you kind of see through. You can see the gears and stuff. I was like, oh, I want to get to know that apart, and there it went. It was done. That was that. So, well, good stuff, guys. You should be very, very proud of your accomplishments. I know, on behalf of Mayor Bock, I know he is. You guys represent Muscatine in a great way. Not just Muscatine, but the students of Muscatine, your coach, Chris, his company. I mean, be very proud of what you guys have accomplished. And I know there's great things. I was joking with Emilio earlier. I said, you're going to be able to be the one building colonies on the moon one day with this robotic stuff. It's going to be good stuff. I mean, so thank you for being great ambassadors for your club, for your school, for Muscatine, and for yourselves to try something new, something new, and to really be brave enough to come on and talk to me on the show about it. And thank you very much for, just pouring your passion and your knowledge and your abilities, your skills into students as well. This is great stuff.
Well, thank you. I will say there's a lot of credit that goes to the other mentors. I'm not even a very technical person, honestly, but I just thought it was important, and other mentors that are technical have come around, and so that's been great. And if you're interested in being a mentor, we'd love to have you come check out the team and see what it's like. And there's a saying, it's the hardest fun you'll ever have.
It's the hardest fun you'll ever have, but is it worth it?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. So, all right. Well, thank you guys. We're gonna game. All right. I don't quite know. Oh, so we have baskets here. All right. So I think what the game is, since it's Good Friday and Easter's on its way, here you go. Basket. So Chris and my kids who are over there, have hid Easter eggs in this produce area. How long do they have to find Easter eggs?
What do you think? 2 minutes?
1 minute, 2 minutes?
I've been watching them the whole time. I've been looking at them.
These scouts have been scouting out where these Easter eggs are. So,
yeah?
all right.
Well, then, okay.
So let's say you have a minute and a half. Let's do a minute and a half to find as many eggs as you can find, and we'll see who wins in the end. All right, and go. I see a few.
Oh, word. Oh, word. Any clues? Oh.
Bro.
Huh? Yellow. Help me find more. How many do you have?
A lot. Excuse me.
So there's literally eggs hidden like under tomatoes, under, what are those things right there? Under grape tomatoes, avocados, like they're literally everywhere. Time's up?
Time's up.
Time's up. So all right, we're gonna call them back here. Time's up. I found 2.
Do those count?
And they're both green. Different shades of green, but they're both green.
I found a lot of them.
You found a lot? You found a baseball one. That's cool. That's cool. Here, I'll give this microphone back to you. All right, let's count them. Let's see how many you got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you have 12. And how many do you have?
10, 11,
No way.
12, 13.
Whoa,
14.
She found more. 14. Chris, what's the prize? Is the candy inside of the prize?
You get to keep all of them.
All right,
All right,
so
here's 2, right? Right, right. I'm just kidding. You can have them.
is there money in them? Maybe.
I don't know.
Probably not. I didn't put money in them. Did you guys put money in them? Not my money. Just kidding. You guys. So the candy is your prize.
Pop
Thanks for
over.
playing. But one more thing. You know, I was joking earlier when I said, if you're doing the robotics club, you got to do the robot. Can you do a good robot?
Come on, Emilio. No.
Can you
We
do?
both can.
Can you do?
We
So I'm
both
gonna let
can.
your coach be the judge on who does the best robot on the robotics club team and the robot. It's gonna be a tie. Are they both equally awful?
Yep.
Equally excellent. All right,
you go.
let's get this out of the way. All right,
How do you even do a robot?
let's see.
How do you do a robot? Yeah, you go like this.
Did you say how you do a robot?
I built
What do we
it, I
think?
do it.
Is Tony Tone still watching? Is he on still? Oh, I don't need that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, there's his. Let's see yours.
You gotta do this. You gotta do
Oh,
Oh, she did the like the limp arm thing. Okay. Any more? So who do we
tie.
tie? All right. Your coach says
Pros.
it's a tie, and if coach says it's a tie, then guess what? It's a tie.
Tie.
It's a tie.
good job.
How cool is that? So listen, there's a lot of great things. I don't know which camera I'm looking at. A lot of great things happening in Muscatine. A lot of great things happening amongst our students. Senior here headed off to Iowa
Our state.
Hurricanes? No, cyclones.
Cyclones.
Ooh. Iowa State. Listen, it's the same thing, just different hemisphere, right? Same thing, different hemisphere. Cyclones. Iowa State, Cyclones. Chris Anderson's giving me the look like, boy, if you don't stop it right now. Sorry, hey.
Can you do Michigan State?
Yeah, University of Michigan State Spartans, Wolverines listen, I was in Michigan for 7 years. I
I was saving your butt by telling people you're from Michigan.
Thank you. So listen, like I said, be very proud of what you guys have accomplished. This is amazing stuff. I'm inspired. I brought my kids today to watch you guys, to hear you guys, and they're in school at Muscatine right now as well, and I know they're inspired by what you guys do. So know that, man, not only are they watching your robots, but they're watching you all as well. How you interact with each other, watching your team building, watching the passion that you speak with when you talk about this kind of stuff. So we're very proud of you. I know Discover Muscatine is very proud of you guys. Your coach is proud. He's beaming back there just with joy and pride of the world finals in Houston. So you guys are really awesome, and I want to thank you again for coming out to speak with me again today and just share just your love of robotics and what you're going to do and where it can take you as well. So I really appreciate you guys taking time to do that today. So anything else you want to share? Oh, I know one more thing that Emilio has to share.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. You're out there.
He wants to sing you happy birthday too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you.
All right, well, listen. I've said it every day this week. It's a great day to have a great day. Today's Good Friday, so if you're going through something, hang on, because hope and Sunday and help is on the way. Sunday's on the way. Easter Sunday's coming. Keep living, keep giving, keep doing the most good. And listen, if you have a little extra to give this week, check out the robotics team, Fire Island Robotics, at the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we're here to serve. When you buy a vehicle at a multi-brand dealership and it isn't locally owned, it can be difficult to get information that you need.
That's why all of our trained salespeople are focused on one thing, getting you the best deal possible on a new or used Toyota.
And when you pick your favorite, we will help you with financing and maintenance.
We love helping our neighbors.
Come to Toyota Muscatine